Well, the way I design is I actually design from the inside out. And that's the way this building was designed. You may not think that, but it was. Because to me, people inhabit the inside of a building. So, the design concept should be evoked on the inside as well as on the outside. And they should inform one another, and one should develop from another, and it's a back and forth, and that's the way I work. So the idea here is that there's one volume there, which is the discovery room and the visitor services, the store and the cafe and restrooms. And then this big volume here, which is the main traveling exhibit gallery, and then classroom and offices above. And then and those are the stone forms. And then the lobby is just this amorphic shape that's defined by these lines of fire. And they engulf you, they surround you. And there's this kind of this chasm between that volume and this volume, which is the lobby. And which is bridged, there's a bridge connecting the two volumes, which was intentional too. And that was to make the discovery room more of a special place for kids, that to get to their special place is kind of a journey over this bridge. It's kind of their bridge, really. That's the bridge only goes to the discovery room. It's really for them. And I thought that would be a cool experience for them. When you're up there, you can look down on both sides of the lobby and you're kind of floating above it. So that was how this was designed. So plan-wise, it's that these lines of fire are kind of engulfing the building, and creating the lobby, the public space, the main public space within the building. In terms of the forms, with the dichroic glass, I wanted the lines of fire to be faceted, because that's how you get the different colors. The glass appears as different colors. So that I knew I wanted to do. And then the lines of fire actually overlap, and some of the overlaps are where you enter the building. So again, just playing on, one thing leads to another. You want to do lines of fire, well, maybe that's how you enter the building, So, and then in terms of the interior, these solid forms, the idea, again, of fire was to have all these openings into these spaces, which I knew would be large. You want people to see into a gift shop, you want people to see into a cafe, they're not doors, they're big openings. I wanted them to be sculpted, kind of like they were material that had been burned, that had been charred, and the shape is what's residual after it's been burned. So the two exhibit alcoves, same thing, the display case there, and where you develop your own personal dinosaur over there. So it's all the same language. What else? There's the ceiling, of course. The idea there was smoke. Smoke rises. It seemed appropriate for a ceiling, and the idea was to create movement in the ceiling, kind of like smoke moves, it swirls kind of sensuously. So that was the idea behind that. So the structure, it is structure, but it's designed. It didn't have to be this way. Obviously, it was designed with peaks and valleys. It was very tricky because you want to shape the outside of the walls, and yet the roofs. What happens beyond that, right? So it was a real three-dimensional puzzle. There was forms on the inside that we wanted, forms on the outside that we wanted. It was a real three-dimensional design a lot of design work to figure out how it works, because it's also functional. The roof has to drain properly, so things have to slope with minimum pitch. You know, buildings are very complicated. You have things that you want to do design-wise, but also it has to be buildable. It has to be within budget, within schedule, and it has to function properly. So roofs, these roofs were tricky. Let's see what else. There's also the stair here. The idea for the stair, many of the projects that I had done had these floating kind of sculptural stairs, and I didn't want to do that here. I wanted this space to be, I wanted the walls and the forms really to speak and not have something else, yet another thing, you know, that would add to it. There's enough going on. So I wanted the stair to be embedded in one of the volumes here, and I did know that I wanted the stair itself to be stone, and this is native Utah red sandstone, which I had a sample of beautiful material. I wanted to use this on the outside for cost reasons, for availability. You know, again, architecture is reality. You know, it didn't work out, but we were able to keep it here for the interior stair. And the idea is that you know, the interior walls of the stair are the stone, and it spills out, and that the stairs themselves kind of spill out in an organic way. And again, kind of providing areas where kids could hang out, not be in the way of traffic, you know, just sit on these side steps over here. So, and again, engage physically with the building itself.